from Northeast Africa, from the Sudan, all the way across to the northeast coast of the Kingdom of Mullah. And during slavery times, slaves would come in from the Ivory Coast, as such, from the coast, inland 300-400 kilometers as such, and take people off to different places. Some of the Shabazz went to America, some went to Brazil, some to Europe, the West Indies, the Caribbean. You see gentlemen from Trinidad as such, not much like myself. They're also descendants of slaves as well. The Shabazz here, what I do primarily is I teach people self-defense from a totally different perspective. Usually in this country of Australia, anything to do with martial art or self-defense is usually Asian-orientated. Whenever we think of fighting or self-defense, we think of karate, kung fu, such we tend. But I'm here to say that there are other cultural perspectives on learning how to defend oneself. The techniques we use are time-honored. The principles as to why we do is ancient, comes from a distant time, a different perspective on defense of one's person. We're going to delve into that now. Many people come here to my school and they say, "Sir, I'm in need of some knowledge of learning how to defend myself because of some circumstance that has happened to me in my life. I wish to become a bit more confident with myself as I'm walking in the streets and such, men and women alike." One of the first things that I tell them, in order to defend yourself against someone, it's simple really. Because the only way someone can physically hurt you is if they get close enough to you to do so. Otherwise, from wherever they are, it's just simply threat. Words, intimidation, psychological intimidation, can work. I'll demonstrate. Mr. Tony Seville. Let's say for whatever reason, two people find themselves in some sort of situation as such. And you begin to feel a bit uncomfortable about the person before you. Naturally, the thing to do would be to keep that person at bay. But oftentimes what people do is when they have some sort of difficulty, misunderstanding with someone, they stand here and try to converse with the person as to why they shouldn't harm them or leave them alone as such. One of the first things I tell people is this: the only way, again, someone can physically hurt you is if they get close enough to you. Otherwise, it is simply threat. Now, can you hear me from where I'm standing? Quite well? So there's no physical need for me to get closer to you. But oftentimes we see when people have difficulty with someone, there's some aggression, there's some misunderstanding, you did this to me, I did this to you. They are right here. You did this and I did this and there, blah, 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 blah. And the anxiety and the tension is there. Now they can hear the person from here. But due to conditioning, we always converse with people here. The first thing is this: if you find yourself in some situation with someone and they make you a bit uncomfortable, keep some distance between the two of you. Again, you can hear me from here. No physical need for me to get closer. And that is where the bad guy stays, right there. Yes. That is our mentality. First and foremost, that's our mentality. If you make me nervous, stay right there. You want to talk? And if that person really wanted to talk, if they just wanted to talk, yes, to talk, yes, then they would stay there one day. If they really wanted to talk. Is that not so? Because if you get close, you make me nervous if you get closer. So you stay right there if you want to talk. But again, due to conditioning, this is what we see right here. Women that come to the classes, I tell them all the time, especially with men, I tell them, with men. If a man makes you uncomfortable for whatever reason, put some distance between you two. intelligent thing to do. It's the Shabazz way. Very practical. If you find yourself in a situation such as that, bad guys here, simply take a step back. Does it make sense? Does it make sense to you, sir? Does it make sense to you? Does it make sense? Yes, if you're in a difficult situation, someone makes you a bit nervous. Rule number one, as far as defending ourselves, because physically, it isn't doing anything. It can be intimidating, and psychologically it can be very intimidating, because oftentimes, due to fear, people do freeze. Even when someone's from at a distance causing them some agitation, they freeze. But we also get people in the right mindset to understand that moving is very, very simple. We'll go there in a moment. But technique number one, as I said, what we do is, the bad guys here, we keep them at a distance. Make sense? Okay. Now I know everyone's sitting there saying, now wait a minute. Look at this guy. He's all dressed up, looking grand and powerful, and he's talking about self-defense, and all he's saying is to tell them to just back away, very peaceful. Surely he can do some powerful warrior stuff. We're going to go there as well. Slowly. The understanding is this. Generally, people think from a person of grand stature as such, a big, strong man, you must use 2 or 3 good things to get him down because he's a strong man. Yeah. But actually, it's much, much more easier than that in order to defend yourself against someone, even against a man of stature. Because what happens is this. People generally see a threat and they look at the physical body and they think, this is what I have to contend with, this mass of height and weight and muscle as such. But that's not a fact. We simply hone in on certain parts of the body as targets, and that takes that big, massive body down and make it into a manageable reality. How so? I've asked many people this, and this is not a trick question. Which is stronger, a mouse or a rhinoceros? What was that? Definitely. And in a fight, whom would you wish on your side? A mouse or a rhinoceros? Absolutely. But to see a mouse combating a rhinoceros, the rhinoceros' way, that's absurd. And it's absurd. And it's very easy for the mouse to look at the rhinoceros and go, oh, surely today is my last day. Even people looking at the mouse and looking at the rhinoceros will say, you are squashed. What the mouse will do is this. The mouse will run up to the rhinoceros, bite him on the toe, run off into the field, and leave the rhino screaming in agony. This is what the mouse will do. The mouse takes that huge mass and brings it down to a manageable reality. We do the same with the human anatomy when it comes to physically defending ourselves against someone. Rather than concentrate on the mass, the body as such, we go to different places. And I will show you what I mean. Okay? See, there seems to be quite a few women in the audience, so I will jump back and forth on defense and let it be known that it is not just simply a male thing to do, it is also very female, very warrior. Here we go. Let's say, for example, hand here. I just had a flashback about this sort of thing. Grabbing a person as such. Before I do that, I have to explain about striking. For a good-natured person will find it very difficult to physically strike out at another human being. This is true. Most good-natured people find it abhorrent to physically strike another person and cause them some physical injury. But the reality about defending ourselves against someone is that striking may have to happen. So therefore, if it does happen, how to do it and feel justified and vindicated as a decent human being that you have physically struck someone is an issue for a lot of people. So there's a certain morality behind physically striking someone. Here we go. Okay. If we have some difficult emotions here as such, and this man grabs my person, understand that this is a very